Mama.
Yeah, baby.
Tell Willie about Buck.
Oh, you want to hear about Buck?
Oh, yeah.
Archiver, The Real Queen Bey from KCK is made possible by a grant from Humanities Kansas.
When me and my husband first opened up down here, wasn't all this killing and shooting up. The only shooting we had down here was between Buck and Double J, down at the depot. Both of them carried 4 or 5 guns apiece, because they couldn't shoot worth a shit. Bam, 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 bam. They run out of bullets and have to quit.
We start this episode of Archiver not with Queen Bey the singer, but Queen Bey the actor. This is Queen as Mama Butler in the 1999 film 9th Street. Mama is a saloon keeper in Junction City during the Vietnam War, catering to black soldiers from nearby Fort Riley. She's the soul of 9th Street and a sort of unofficial historian of the block.
Then there was Grandma Pope and her grandson, Big Dog. Big Dog was one of the baddest jokers that ever come through here. Got in a fight one time when a man bit 3 of his fingers off. Sure did. But he should have known better than to jug with his grandma. Big Dog come down talking about, Grandma, go on home now. Quit fucking with me. I'm Big Dog. Don't nobody run, Big Dog. Shit. All of a sudden, bam! Boy, I brought you in this world and I take you out. Now get on in this automobile before I air condition your ass some more.
9th Street is the first feature film from Oscar winner and Archiver producer Kevin Willmott. 9th Street is also what led Kevin and Queen to a lifetime friendship.
9th Street is a hot street. 9th Street is a cold street. 9th Street is a tough street. 9th Street is a rough street.
You know, the world does all these things to us, but if you're lucky, you can get some things from the world. And she got things from the world that I think made her a richer, more interesting person, and certainly made her a much better actor.
The podcast is Archiver, The Real Queen Bey from KCK, Episode 4, Queen Bey the actor, me. I'm your host, Sam Zeff.
Come on, soldier boy. You the man. Take a chance. Dance to the beat and feel all that body heat. Come on, you soldier boys. Play with these grown-up toys. All your fantasies come true. 9th Street.
That was Isaac Hayes singing the title song that he also wrote for the film. Hayes co-starred as Tippy Toes, the owner of a Junction City cab company. Martin Sheen was also in the movie, brought into the production by Queen, who was working with him on a mini-series being shot in Topeka. 9th Street was a bit of a launching pad for both Kevin and Queen. They talked about that in their 2023 interview, the last interview she gave before she died in 2024.
I said, Martin, I met the nicest young man, and he loves this thing called show business and what we do. I want you to meet him. And Martin took time out to come and meet you, and it's been history ever since. Academy Award, how about that?
So then from there, you were in my film, Confederate States of America. Remember that one? You were in my movie CSA, Confederate States of America. And then you were in Jayhawkers. Remember you sang a song in Jayhawkers?
I've done so much with you.
And then you had a part in The Only Good Indian as well. And then you've been in other people's shows and stuff. So what do you like about acting? Talk about what you like about acting.
Well, you have to tell the truth. That's all it is. You have to tell the truth, and it will set you free. It never fails. It'll set you free.
I think Queen was telling the truth in this scene from The Only Good Indian, Kevin's 2009 film that premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. In this scene, she levels a shotgun at a white sheriff who just rode into an African-American town in Kansas.
You know, this town ain't on any map. No one missing. Now, I could come back here later with some boys, and burn what's left of this town down.
Mister, you're very welcome to come back here with your boys and burn down what's left for Harkin.
Visitors always welcome. Try me, and I'll tear your ass wider than a wagon sheet.
She'll do it, too.
Talk to me about Queen as an actor.
Well, I think she was just a natural. I mean, obviously she didn't have any lessons. She never took an acting lesson or anything like that. The kind of movies I make so often, I kind of cast people when I'm writing the scripts. I'm kind of writing them for people I know in a way. You know, especially when I'm making a low budget film. And she was in. Unfortunately, she never got to be in my bigger budget films, but she was in my lower budget films. But it's because of people like her that enabled me to make those movies, because I knew that I had someone really talented I could write, and they were going to do a great job. So I never worried about that. And so when after she was in 9th Street, I mean, the thing I learned from her on 9th Street, on the film 9th Street, was that she had soul. I mean, she had soul. And that's something you can't...
Let me just stop you there. What does that mean exactly?
Well, you know, that means...
Or
that,
to you, what does that mean to you?
Well, to me, it means that she had lived, that she understood things, that she wasn't afraid to share who she was. She wasn't afraid to kind of tell me things or do things in a role that I didn't have to explain anything to her. And whatever I wrote, she understood. And I never had to tell her. I don't think I ever had to tell her one time how to do a line. But she just always knew. And that's a lived life.
What did you take away from her, Queen Bey, as an actor? Mm-hmm. Anything in particular? I also talked to singer Kelley Hunt about Queen's acting chops. They appear together in Kevin's play Now Let Me Fly, directed by Kevin, and celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Brown versus Board desegregation case.
Well, I remember seeing her in 9th Street, the movie 9th Street, Kevin Willmott's movie, and I remember thinking, it doesn't look like she's acting. It was really natural. She just kind of sailed into a scene. Whether the scene was intense, you know, or it was relaxed, it looked very natural. And in the play, in Now Let Me Fly, she was singing, yes, and, you know, I was accompanying her on, she did a version of Motherless Child. And she didn't just sing it. She emoted it. And it was as if the audience didn't exist. Nothing existed but the content of that song. Oh, it was just heart-wrenching. And that showed me an example of somebody totally immersed in not just the song, but the reason for the song, the content of the song, and how it fit into the story of the play. It was heartbreaking. And anybody that saw her do that, it lifted you out of, it took you out of present day and put you right there with her. That was really important to see and to hear.
Queen appeared in a smattering of other films and TV shows, in addition to the 1993 murder courtroom thriller, A Matter of Justice, where she met Martin Sheen. She became a regular in dinner theater productions in Kansas City. But after 9th Street, says Kevin Willmott, Queen was so good, he would write parts just for her.
People would see my films and they would say, now who's that woman? Who's that woman in that, you know? And they would be talking about Queen. And they would say she was really great. And it's because she had soul. I think it's because she was a natural and she allowed her honesty about who she was to kind of show up on the screen. And she always would tell me, I like to curse. She'd always tell me that. Write some stuff where I get to curse somebody out, you know. And that to me was kind of what we're talking about. I mean, she wasn't afraid to get angry or mean or to feel bad or you know, she understood the blues. dues paid in full, right? Dues paid in full.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of that gave her a real persona. And I just loved her persona.
On my own, should I wander through this wonderland all alone, never knowing my right from my left, my hat from my glove. I'm too misty and too much in love. I'm too misty and too much in love.
That's Queen singing Misty as cabaret singer Julia Lee in Kevin's 2014 film Jayhawkers about Wilt Chamberlain's time at KU. Wilt led the Jayhawks to the 1952 NCAA championship game against North Carolina, a game that went into triple overtime. In the movie, people watched the game at a Kansas City jazz club. Turns out, not only did Queen like to curse, she was good at it.
That's the buzzer, and that means we're going into double overtime.
Another damn overtime? Come on!
I can't watch this shit no more.
Every time I saw Jayhawkers, that was a laugh-out-loud line in the theater. By the way, the guy who screamed another damn overtime, Trey Byers from TV's Empire. He's playing saxophonist Nathan Davis, another legendary jazz performer from Sumner High School in KCK. Like many jazz artists, Davis became a star in Europe before returning to the U.S., where he became director of jazz studies at the University of Pittsburgh. Queen would also find success overseas, and that's our next episode of Archiver, The Real Queen Bey from KCK.
Thinking about what I should have been, trying to be anything but what I am. I can't stand the pain, can't play the game. It's a blues life, my life. It's a blues life, my life.
We started with 9th Street, so that's where we'll end, with Queen singing Blues Life, lyrics by Queen, Kevin, and Wayne Hawkins.
I hear the echoes from joints long gone. Big Joe shouts at Bird in the dark. Lord, this street done left us mark.
Archiver is produced by Scott Richardson and Kevin Willmott in the studios of KCUR 89.3 in Kansas City and is made possible with a grant from Humanities Kansas. Archiver is a production of Do Good Productions, where Gene Johnson is executive producer. My thanks to Kelley Hunt for her insights. I'm Sam Zeff, and I'll see you on the next Archiver.